Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome back to another action-packed episode of Sunday Night Fights. This is Season 4, and we've got a hell of a lineup ready for you tonight. Good grief, did we see some great games and some fantastic players in this second qualifier tournament. But before we get to that, let me introduce to the stage my co-caster and partner in crime, all the way from the gleaming lights of Los Angeles. It's early morning there, but the lights are shining. Welcome to the show, Yoink!
Hello friends, it's Yoink. I'm shoutcasting from the Yoink Tower in beautiful Los Angeles, California with my co-caster, AmiPolizeiFunk. It's good to be here. We have got some great games coming up for this second quali tourney. I'm excited! Let's do it!
We are so ready for this. I was just a fanboy today. I saw those names in this tournament, all my favorite players going head-to-head. So much great action. I can't even wait for the replay pack. There are some matchups that look like awesome games that we didn't have eyes on. You know, a lot of guys streamed, but a lot of guys didn't, so we'll be looking forward to checking out some of those best of ones, knockout matches. Now let me introduce to the show a player who competed in today's qualifier tournament. Give a warm SNF welcome to our lead caster on Kotu.org, Tommy!
What's up, Emmy? I'm officially excited for today. Just listening to you two guys makes me very excited indeed to see what we're going to be seeing today. These four guys going at it. It's, as you said, it's a heck of a lot of pro players in there, and I think we're going to be in for a real treat.
So you were in this tournament. Are you all tired out from playing, or was that couple hours break enough to sort of get you up and amped and back into caster mode? You got to take off one hat and put on the other one.
Well, you know, none of my games are particularly long. I sort of had a couple of ownage games, and then Fir3ball kind of had his way with me, and it was all over rather quickly. So I didn't have much time to get too tired out. So no, I've got plenty of stamina left for tonight.
That's excellent news. Yes, Fir3ball and DevM will be our first best of 3 matchup here. This is round 4 of the second quali tourney. These guys have gone through the vetoes and picked a map. But before we get to them, Yoink, are you wearing your funny hat? Because guess what, man? I've got a very special hat for tonight's festivity.
I am wearing a funny hat. You all know that the Yoink shoutcasting operation requires that the Yoink wear a funny hat. So yeah, I've got the Viking hat on for today, which is the one that our fans know and love from our Season 3 escapades on the webcam.
Well, at the beginning of last week, I got a big cardboard box from THQ. Got to give a big thanks out to Andre Dorfmüller. He is the THQ Germany representative, and maybe NTD could swing us over to that. And I ripped open the first big cardboard box, and then there was this huge red box with gold Company of Heroes letters across the top. And I ripped open that box, and what did I find inside but your genuine Commander's Ushanka winter hat, which I wore today as I walked out into Berlin's first snow of this winter. It felt so cold, man! And then watching that Turning Point trailer just gives me the nerd chills. I'm so ready for this. We are just getting so close to the beta. It's about to come out. I can feel it. It's like any day now we're going to be in game. Ah, so much great stuff happening. Yoink, are you ready for this?
Hey Ami, you said the beta is going to be coming out soon. How can our viewers possibly play it?
Well, this will be the first time I'll describe the simple process of pressing the big purple follow button on your Twitch TV screen. That is right, if you are watching our stream on the Twitch TV Sunday Night Fights channel and you're not following, then you are not a smarty. You're doing it wrong. You got to do it right. Press the purple follow button. When Twitch like had a makeover in between our seasons here, and they decided that purple was the way they wanted to go. I guess they were trying to be different. But anyway, hopefully your button is white now and says following, and that means that you are automatically entered in the monkey raffle. We have 12 monkeys back in our dressing rooms who spin a huge ball full of ping pong balls with numbers on them. And if your number comes up, we will read your name, and you will win one of 6 Company of Heroes 2 beta keys. How'd I do, Yoink?
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's exactly how you can win a beta key by being one of our fans and followers of Sunday Night Fights. And I got to go back and whip the monkeys into shape while you guys shoutcast this first game.
All right, if NTD will show us the overall Sunday Night Fights Season 4 brackets, we can get a view. Last week, Aimstrong defeated Symbiosis 3-0 and earned himself the first spot in the Final Four, going for that championship title fight at the end of the season. That'll be in January. Oh man, by then everybody's going to be playing the beta and going crazy. But this season is all about our victory lap for Company of Heroes. We're giving this great old game the grand send-off that it deserves. So you can see Aimstrong there with his arms folded like in that fight card pick, just waiting for an opponent. He's not going to get one for a while. First we got to find an opponent for the other side of the bracket, and that's where this second quality tourney comes in. If NTD would zoom in on today's action. So Tommy, tell us a little bit. Are you looking at the bracket here? Tell us a little bit about the players that you saw today.
Well, today saw pretty much everyone who participated last week, with a few exceptions. But I mean, I thought there were a couple of guys who got knocked out a little earlier than I thought, and I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen Cepha play that much recently, and I know he did a lot of streaming about a month ago, and then I haven't seen him so much since then, since Eurogamer, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that he made it all the way, or at least all the way to what we're going to find out tonight. So that was nice to see. A bit of British power was always good.
Yeah, speaking of British power, it seems like we really picked the right character for our splash screen there, because so far all of our guest analysts have been British. That's going to change next week, though, because if you guys can guess, I got a special line on a special player who's already in the Final Four, who's going to come cast with us next week. So we'll have our first non-British caster. We might have to do some photoshopping on that splash screen. But yeah, Cepha being in the round of 4 here, having to go up against Simbi, who's, right back here. He lost to Aimstrong last week, but he tore through his bracket, defeating Magpies, and then, he had a pretty easy bracket relatively. I thought the biggest threat up there would be Korean Army, but Korean Army has been having a break lately. He's been doing schoolwork, and actually he got knocked out by Magpies, and that was kind of an upset. And then Simbi took care of Magpies pretty easily. Cepha beat Caught to get here, which is exciting because I think that's a rematch of a tournament finals, even all the way back to that tournament 12 finals where the Volk sniper build was premiered. Caught was really in the action back then, so that was a nice rematch to see. And then we had other matchups down in the bottom bracket that was really exciting, like Inverse versus Pepsi. I hear Pepsi went PE in that one. Did you hear anything about that matchup?
I didn't hear anything about any of those games down there that Inverse played, because I don't think any of his opponents were streaming, and he wasn't streaming. So I don't know what happened with those. I'm gonna have to wait for the replay pack. So I watched all the games from the replay pack that came out last time, so I could scope out my opponents for this week. Unfortunately, it didn't help me too much.
Yeah, how did your match go versus Fir3ball? I mean, I was on Semwa, right?
Yeah, it was on Semwa. We played a best of 3. I wasn't expecting to win or to do very much damage with my US, and suffice it to say, he went T1, T4 in quite stylish fashion and put the boot in. As Ver, I held on a bit longer, but I don't know. I lost a lot of snipers bit carelessly. Needed to babysit them a little bit more, and yeah, he played better. He deserved the win.
Yeah, I checked your stream at one moment, and he just like slipped a jeep into your base to take out one of your snipers in that game. I noticed that. But I was also watching Cepha versus Marinas, which he got 260 viewers for that stream that he was doing. Marinas was streaming it well, so you could duo screen it. It was really cool. And so, yeah, DevM took care of Inverse in the bottom bracket. So our first matchup today will be DevM and Fir3ball. This is a rematch of the season finale of Season 3, where Fir3ball 3-0'd DevM. But DevM has guaranteed me that he is going to stomp everybody today. He did not like last week, 2 weeks ago, where he didn't even make it to the show. So DevM has got a chip on his shoulder, and he is ready to do serious damage. I'm in game in positive 5 seconds. Tommy, who are you going to follow?
I'm going to follow fellow WMD member DevM, see what kind of punishment he can bring on today.
All right, well, if NTD is ready to go, it's time to get this party started. I got my Ushanka winter hat. I'm ready for some fighting. Tribal Bob, guest of honors in the front row. He might get some blood splatter on his face, but I gave him a handkerchief to take care of it. We're paused at 5 seconds. We're going to unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You know, I've got my... I've always seen DevM as being a really fucking scary player, because he always has this really, really aggressive early game with both factions. And, you know, last week, you know, we saw the games DevM versus Symbiosis, and I just thought, you know, both times he only lost those games because he just got cocky in the late game. You know, when you start using an officer as Ver, you know that you're just trying to rub it in now, and Symbiosis took advantage of that. But I don't know. I think he's gonna show us something special. I think as long as he can just hold focus and not think I want to dick you around, then I think he's gonna go a long way.
All right, well, we have a traditional US versus Ver matchup, and let me tell you, after last week's games on Semwa, it's kind of nice to be back on Angeville. I mean, you know, Semwa was like the first COH map ever that was in the original beta, but I feel that Ango is the quintessential Company of Heroes map.
Ango's a weird map, you know. There's no other map that is really that much like it in a way that it gets so polarized between the left and the right. And particularly, you know, for US can kind of play the map however, you know, all over the place. But I think it's a really interesting map for Ver. Everyone has their very own distinct way of playing it. And already we're seeing some very weird wire coming down in the middle, right? I mean, Fir3ball, he wants to split this map right down the middle.
Yeah, that's new. I haven't seen wire go that long across that whole span on a diagonal. Usually people sort of wire right around the house so that it's harder to flank the house and harder to get through that gap between the hedge and the house. Look at the rifles. They just said LOL and went between the hedge and the house and right around it. Not quite sure what DevM's going for with that. And I mean, I guess he's going to push right side as Wehrmacht, which is also a bit of a questionable move. What do you think about going right versus left as Ver?
Well, I always go right as Ver on this map. I hate going left because I find it's way too open. It's like, you know, whatever the opposite of claustrophobia is. It just feels like it's very easy to get flanked. Whereas on the right, it feels like you can kind of lock down the right and then make a very aggressive, quick move to the left to cut off.
I like watching these rifles dance around this hedgerow. They're gonna try to get by this MG, and he thought about opening up point blank on them, and look at them squirt through there. And that is not what oh my goodness, this MG is getting owned and it is annihilated. Oh. What a move! What a move!
Oh boy, that is not good. What was Fir3ball thinking? He didn't even retreat it.
Wow, DevM just pulled the sneaky move with the rifle, slipped right through that hedgerow, took out Ali's first MG entirely. And, you know, there are certain early game things that you can recover from, but I don't know if that's one of them. Fir3ball is now in deep trouble.
That's just like a free kill. It's as if he never made the MG in the first place. You know, those rifles didn't lose a single man. And all this time, Fir3ball has yet to connect. His plastic themed fuel, he's got nothing.
That has just been lowered. It is now white, and he's got Volks in this house. You know, DevM always seems to have a Jeep these days. I think he builds a Jeep on almost every map.
I think he does. I mean, he's got some of the best, you know, light vehicle, Jeep, bike, micro that I've seen in the game. It's really, it's one of his scariest assets. Whenever I play him, it's really feared, to be honest, is the Jeep or bike. Because, you know, a well-used Jeep, well-used bike, they can turn the tide of battle in a way that a Volt or an MG can't.
Was that a nade in the house there? I looked away for a second.
It was a nade in the house. It actually
Sounded
put a rifle. That rifle squad almost went down to his fellow rifles nade there.
Oh, brutal. Well, Ali has made a nice move to cut off the left-hand side. I say Ali, that's short for Alliage, which is I think Fir3ball's real name. But yeah, he likes to go by both. We can call him either one here. But it's going to be very difficult for him to hold this cutoff on the left.
Yeah, I mean,
his MG micro is so slow. What's up? Right? I mean, it took him forever to even pack up when he was, you know, this like surrounding force was coming at him.
And you know what? It felt like he didn't really think about his cap order, because he didn't cap the +16 munitions that is necessary to get his fuel connected. So he never had any fuel throughout that entire time. The only fuel and munitions he's now getting is those little points that just to the left of his base. So, you know, I mean, I don't like calling games so early, but really, he's got a, you know, this isn't an uphill battle. This is an uphill battle holding dumbbells.
I mean, he's got nothing coming in. He's practically, I mean, you know, he doesn't have a single resource point capped, really. The only ones he's got capped are the two little ones just left of his base. He's got 40 fuel, and he's got both +10 ammo and +10 fuel right now. Just DevM is all over him.
We have territory cut off from
this is some scary shit, to be honest. And we've got still nothing too fancy tech-wise though from DevM. He's just building himself a fourth rifle because he hasn't actually had that much fuel himself. It's taken him just until now to get the +16 fuel on the right connected. So he hasn't been able to get bars, and that's what he would rather do. He's only now that he's just got his 60
beautiful
fuel.
Action by the Jeep. He came in and snuck behind this wooden fence on the far left, kind of by that cow. He picked off one Pioneer right before they raised that flag, and then when the other Pioneer retreated around to the fence to the left, the Jeep followed and got the annihilation.
Oh wow, the Jeep went in and just fucked with an MG that was coming out of the base now. There's just hardly any field presence from Alliage. He's got nothing.
The thing, you know, this Jeep is just a nuisance. Look at now, he's going to push some folks out of green cover. Uh-oh, will DevM lose the squad? Of course not. Jeep's going to harass them as they try to retreat. Man, it just seems that Alliage is getting his head spun right now. And I think that's what people fear about going against DevM. Guys, like you said before, the just ultra early game aggression. He can really deliver an early round knockout punch like no other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only reason, I think, you know, from watching those games where he played Symbiosis, the only reason why Symbiosis was able to take those games back was because DevM, you know, he got cocky and he did things, he did things that he might not have done if the game was a little bit closer. So it's, yeah, you know, these early games from DevM, it's scary stuff, to be honest. It is scary stuff, and I don't like playing him for this exact reason.
Fir3ball has somehow managed to get up to tier 2. He'd love to kill this nuisance of a Jeep. Some flamers are there going to put a stop to the Pioneers that were going for that kill, and it looks like they'll be repairing that Jeep, and he'll be hanging around. He's only got 4 kills, but he's been a huge influence on this early game.
Yeah, I mean, the tipping point was just that MG is set up in a really weird place there on the right. It took ages for Fir3ball to realize. I mean, he should have moved it back. He should have positioned it back so he could have shot at the rifles as they entered that gap. But he left it so close to the gap itself that they could get, you know, within an inch of him before they actually got shot at. And even then, the MG didn't get a single burst off. So
we got Flamer and Rifle Squad advancing down the left lane, and 2 more Rifle Squads coming up the middle. We've got an MG so desperate for territory that he's capping the VP here. 2 Volk Squads are there to protect him. They'd rather be capping the fuel, but they are surrounded by rifles. A 3rd Volk Squad. This is interesting. The MG is facing the following rifles, and it looks like another Rifle Squad's gone. No, let's see. This is another Flamer squad coming up from the rear by the path. It's going to take them forever to get there. Here comes the first Flamer squad. They are closing in. The Jeep is on the south. Once again, Alliage is completely surrounded. The MG is cleared. I don't think the rifle should try to grab it with all those folks do, but they do try to grab it. And let's see, one rifle squad. He should focus that retreating squad, see if he can kill that last guy. Jeep's there to push around, and larceny achieved. The MG squad is whisked away, and if the first MG dying wasn't bad enough, this has surely got to end it right here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there was another MG that actually got taken away from the fight. The Jeep found another MG as it was exiting the base and forced it to retreat as well. You know, this isn't even close at this point.
One of our munitions points.
Oh man, these poor Volks are just taking so much manpower damage. Tier 2 is up, but Alliage couldn't afford anything if he wanted to build that. I guess maybe he'll try to get some Grenadiers. Interesting from DevM, we have a supply yard, but is he going to rush motor pool, or what's he going to do next, you think? Tank depot,
well, yeah,
maybe? What kind of fuel do you have?
He's got 98 fuel in the bank, so he could go for a Sherman. At this point, you know, I'd probably just, I don't know. He could do anything right now. He could literally do anything, and he would be fine. So
I would love to see a fast Sherman.
He is going for
and sure enough,
yeah,
yes, the tank depot is coming up, and that should be the checkmate once that Sherman arrives.
Losing ground out there.
Wow, Ali built a half-track first out of his Tier 2. He's going to need a pack desperately, and he doesn't have the manpower for it. The Jeep is dangerously close to some mines, but he does have a stripe of vet with 6 infantry kills. Love to watch Jeeps get vet. It's such a hard thing to accomplish. No, he's going right for the mine. Oh, he squeaked by it. That's that pro player luck there. He missed it by a few meters, and he's in there behind these Volks. They're trying to reinforce. A nade goes in on 2 Volk squad. They try to soft pedal away, but that was not maybe the right plan, and 3 Volks Grenadiers die. The Jeep is still right up in there.
Unit down.
Oh, that one Volk squad is annihilated.
Losing ground out there.
Jeep's got 7 now.
Light mechanized here.
This is not going well. You know, I'm beginning to wonder why he got that half track. I'm beginning to see why now. I think it might have literally just been to kill the Jeep.
We're losing a fuel sector.
Jeep here.
I love the Jeep squirting around, checking things out. I think maybe he's looking for that pack. He doesn't want to sit too close to the base, or the pack will get him. There's not even a pack building. He doesn't even have the manpower for it yet. The Jeep's doing donuts as some Volks are coming out.
He's going to lose another MG here.
Enemy unit.
Ah, Fir3ball just throws it in. Just throws in the towel after 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Whoa, we could call that like a round 2 knockout, I think.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the tournament where DevM beat Alliage by getting a sort of an 11-kill Jeep. I think it was in a WMD Invitational. I'm not sure if you saw it. We live casted it. It was mad. He got like a Vet 2 Jeep or something against Alliage, killed off about 4 squads with the same Jeep, and this is like deja vu, only a different map.
Ali could have stayed in the replay long enough for the Volks to kill that Jeep there, but he honored the Jeep and quit out. So there it is with its guns ablazing. NTD, let's see that video. All right, fight fans, we've just whet our appetite. That was a quick game 1. Here, DevM taking out Alliage in under 12 minutes, or 12 minutes right on the dot, actually. Tommy, going to be here all night. We got 2 series to cast. We'll look forward to seeing you back for game 3. You and I will cast that, and we'll get Yoink back. Or no, sorry, you'll stay and I'll go. I'm trying to get greedy. So. Enjoy casting game 2 with Yoink, and fans, stick around because you know what comes after the break. That's right, we're giving away our first Company of Heroes 2 Beta K, so stay here and tweet us, follow us. Let's get this thing rolling. All right, we'll be right back.